Lionel, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
Oh boy, here we go.
Right out of the box.
Can't follow instructions.
Yeah. Good thing this isn't.
Go enjoy the shrimp.
Yeah. Did I play your Kelly? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna. You're still talking. I was gonna say the first question we're gonna ask our guest, but you know what? He's been in the booth the whole time with us. The booth. Yeah, that's right. Tonight we're just using the booth.
We're using the phone booth.
I had to fumigate the studio.
Yeah, we got a few.
We found the pest.
The radio station where I make commercials for my business, Barb makes all the commercials, but we go over there and they have a soundproof booth that really only fits like two people. One person, two people can fit in it. 3 or 4, but we went over there one night. I took everybody, all the employees, because on the basis of we were going to do a group recording, and which wasn't at all. It was a David Letterman thing, was how many driving instructors can we fit into a soundproof booth? That's how my mind works. That's how my day goes. Hey, let's take everybody and see how many driving instructors we can get into a soundproof booth.
You're poor employees.
Yeah, I know. We just had an employee meeting today. Once a month, we have an employee meeting.
Did you bring them donuts?
No, today we had fried chicken.
Oh, nice. From the Colonel or somewhere else?
Not from the Colonel. It's some place called Mary Brown's Chicken. I don't even know if it's south of the border.
Heard of that place.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's south.
Never had it, but I've heard of it.
Maybe it's in the lower 48. In the lower 48, I usually go to Popeyes primarily.
That's a good choice.
Whole, fresh, local, Canada grade A chicken. How about that? So it must just be Canadian.
There's a voice from China Grove, South Carolina.
North Carolina.
Damn it. I was so close. So close.
Just a little too far south.
Yeah, half of it right.
I knew I liked having Daniel here.
I'm just 68 miles north of the border, so it's not too far off.
That's good for 3/4 of it right then.
Nah, don't get carried away. If you live, that's the one thing about the States, man. If I was, a couple of years ago, I rode my bike up to, what's the place in Georgia?
The Folkestone Funnel?
Yeah, that's it, in Georgia, isn't it?
It is.
Just north of there, yeah. It's like 3 miles north of the Florida border. Florida doesn't have a helmet rule. And I forgot my helmet. I don't get a mile above the state line, and a cop pulls me over. He says, "You don't have a helmet." I said, "I just left Florida." "Well, you got to put on your helmet." I said, "I forgot it." "Where are you going?" "Watch trains." "Oh, yeah?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "It was busy today. You'll catch a lot of trains." "Can I go?" "After I write you a ticket." Okay, so tonight we're going to talk to Emory Lehman. Lehman? Is it Lehman or Lehman?
Lehman.
Is it Emory?
I thought he was in the green room.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we just let him come into the booth.
Emory Lehman.
Emory Lehman. And okay, so we have a full house tonight. We have David Lund all the way from Whiting, Illinois. No.
Indiana.
I haven't got 2 states right yet. How close?
At least you didn't say South Carolina.
How close? How many miles are you to Illinois?
Oh, from here, less than 5.
Yeah, so I should get that one. I would get 3/4 right.
Yeah, so we'll give it to you.
We got Daniel Banks, also from Indiana.
Right, it's a Hoosier takeover tonight.
That's right. Yeah, the Hoosier takeover. You're near Indianapolis, aren't you?
Yes.
How long have you lived in the Indianapolis area?
54 years now.
Oh, really? Born and raised?
Yep. Still live in the same town I was born in. I visited lots of other places, but
nice.
I like it here.
Are you Mario Andretti?
No. I would like to be, though. I sometimes drive like I am.
Around all the roundabouts.
Wouldn't that be cool if it turned out you were actually Mario Andretti?
Yeah, that would be cool for me.
Yeah, Formula F1 champion, Indianapolis champion. I think he won the Daytona 500 too. So do you live in downtown Indianapolis, or do you live in the outskirts, or?
Oh no, I live in a town that's actually about 30 miles northeast of there,
Okay.
of downtown. So.
Okay. And do you work in Indianapolis?
I work from home, but the company I work for is in Carmel, so north side of Indianapolis.
And how many times have you been to the Indianapolis 500?
A couple now.
Oh, okay. Where do you sit?
It was nice this year. We could watch. I'm an infield sort of guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Did you go this year?
No, actually, I didn't. And this year, for the first year in a long while, it was not blacked out, so was able to watch it on television while grilling.
Oh, okay.
Not quite as good, but not bad either.
It's the greatest spectacle in motorsports in the world, right?
It is. And I teased about driving like Mario Andretti because 465, the interstate around Indianapolis, is shaped quite a bit like the 500 track. And more than just me treat it like one.
Then we have our buddy Marcus Neubacher.
Hello, everyone.
A.K.A. the Noob.
That's correct.
A.K.A.
Noob.
Noob. That's actually cool. That's a cool nickname. How many people have called you that over the years?
I have a few who have done it. Yeah.
And you're also the AML's most eligible bachelor.
You're the first person to call me that.
There you go. Why didn't we come up with a nickname for you, Daniel, the last time you were on the podcast?
No, I don't think so. Ballast, but that's not really a nickname.
Can we call him Banksy?
No? You might be in trouble with the real one.
We don't want to insult Banksy.
Well, if Banksy is listening to A Model or His Life, I think that means we've made it.
Who's Banksy? I forget.
Famous street artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. For some reason or other, I had a feeling he was involved in. I thought there was a Banksy in the Walt Disney hit with Dick Van Dyke and
Mary Poppins.
Yes, I think there was a Banksy.
The dad's name is Banks.
Yeah, Banks. There you go. And finally, we have Derek McNaughton, just freshly back from another whirlwind trip to Australia. For those that don't know, that Derek has a love of Australia, has been there over a dozen times.
Do you mean Alaska?
Yeah, what did I say?
I think Alaska. Australia.
Australia.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, that was an A.
Not quite.
Totally different climate.
We're getting every geographical reference incorrect tonight, aren't we?
And the worst part is
he hasn't watched trains in either of them, though.
But the worst part is I say to my son, as I get older, this isn't going to get any better.
It does explain why there's a koala in the booth with us.
Yeah. So,
boy.
So, anyways, not unlike some people have a fear of clowns, Derek, unbeknownst to the podcasting world, the AML Nation, has a fear of the Alaska Railroad.
We can call it that.
Yeah, did you take any photos of the Alaska Railroad this latest time?
I took a photo of me with an O-scale Alaska Railroad locomotive that was on display in the tunnel connecting the rental car building to the terminal building of the Alaska Anchorage Airport.
He's getting close.
And it was there in memoriam to an airport employee and model railroader, whose name I don't recall now. And I tried to go, with my wife's encouragement, to the railroad depot that's at the airport because we had a little bit of time to kill, but it was closed. It's only open on like Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
But you had your wife take a picture of you standing in front of it anyways.
No,
No.
not quite.
Man, we need to do like some exposure therapy for Derek when taking pictures of trains.
Here's a scary thought for Derek. The one thing he has in common with Kelly is he's useless with a camera.
Nice.
Oh, oh boy. No, I'm going to go rail fanning with Chris Wayman here at some point, and we'll get our exposure. If I survive rail fanning with Chris Wayman, I think I'll be a rail fan
Well, when's that going to happen?
at some point.
I wonder if he brings snacks for that too, or not.
On the 12th. On the 12th of Nevers, that's when that's going to happen.
Next Juvember.
It's too hot in the South to do anything right now. So once October and November rolls around, we'll find time to do that.
I was just texting with him not 2 hours ago because there was on the day we're recording this, there was massive flooding in Chattanooga. And so I said, "Did you get any flooding?" He said, "No," but he sent me a video of his wife trying to get down a flooded street.
Ooh, yeah, the videos out of there look terrible. And our buddy Matt Milligan up in Milwaukee got flooded in his basement.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a few inches of water in his basement and had to tear out all the flooring and some of the baseboards in the layout room. And I told him that's what he gets for building so fast on his layout because he'd been going too fast. So, so Matt, we're thinking about you. Chris, we're thinking about you.
Kelly, we're thinking about you.
Where is Kelly?
I don't know. He didn't answer the text.
He might have some boxcar doors glued to his face and he can't answer.
All right. Well, let's get to our guest here. Enough of you guys. And now we have Emory Lehman from, where do you live in Texas?
I live in Temple, Texas.
Temple, Texas.
Right smack dab in the middle of the state.
And how far from Dallas, Texas are you?
2-hour drive south.
And how did you end up in Temple?
I come down here as a transfer from Seattle when I hired out the railroad back in 97, I think it is.
On the carrier.
Yeah, the carrier, BNSF, unfortunately, yes.
And then did they got bought up by Union Pacific?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, how did you end up? Are you with Union Pacific or BNSF?
I'm with BNSF.
I knew that. I was just testing you. See if you could remember.
See, that's who signs the check.
Okay. So you're just down the road from Waco, Texas?
Waco's about 30 minutes away, if that. Yes, it's basically between Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin.
Yeah, right. Just down the road is Austin, and then San Antonio.
It's all becoming one big city.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't David Barrow live in Austin, Texas?
Yes, he does.
He still does. Okay.
I think he still does. I know the name. I met him. My neighbor across the street goes to his operating sessions every, I think it's the second Wednesday of the month. I have not been invited yet.
Your neighbor across the street?
Yes. Is a model railroader also, yes.
And gets to go to David Barrow's operating
sessions. Yes.
And do you talk to your neighbor at all?
All the time. He's in the process of building it's a large building for a model railroad.
Is this the fella that we talked to you about before that has a model railroad in a building?
No, that's Mike Bourbon, a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
And we're in the process of taking that down because he got married and him and his wife are selling both of their houses and going to build a new house in a new location with a new railroad. But he's changing from HO scale to FN3.
That's a big change.
To what?
That is a big change.
And it's the second time he's doing it. So
the second time he's switched to FN3?
Yes.
FN3. What is that?
Narrow gauge upscale.
Upscale, yeah. Narrow gauge G scale.
Oh, narrow gauge G scale. I don't know if I've ever heard FN3. Am I the only one?
All I know is F is big.
Yeah, it runs on the same G scale, same track as G scale, but it's a little bit bigger. proportional wise. I don't know the exact dimensions or whatever
Wow.
ratio. But yeah.
When I punched in, geez, here's other guys I wanted to talk to. I've never gotten around to talking to these guys called brasstrains.com, which are in Ocala, Florida. Anyways, I punched in FN3, and they actually have an FN3 Bachmann Spectrum for sale, brass, $795.
F scale is 1/20th, where G can be 1/22nd to 1/26th. It kind of floats around there. The gauge of the track is standard, but that's it. But F is 1/20th scale.
So didn't your friend Mike had this huge, massive layout, didn't he not?
Still does. But I was up there last weekend and we unfortunately had to start the tear down, and he's gonna keep what he has in the building, but we're getting rid of the 2 peninsulas and 2 of the 3 levels. So it's only gonna be 1 level, and it's only gonna go around the perimeter of the building, HO scale.
I thought you said he was selling it.
No, he's selling. Well, yeah, when he's going to sell his house in the next 2 years or earlier. Just depends on how the plague moves from Austin up to where he's at in Williamson County. So all the Austinites.
Oh, what'd you call them? The plague?
Yes. The keep Austin weird people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Austin is a weird town and getting weirder.
Yes.
Let's not talk about Austin.
What is all this? What's this Austin hate here on the AML Nation? Marcus, how do you feel?
I like Austin.
My Austin hate comes from soccer, so I'll just leave it at the door.
Yeah, but there's beef between the new age Austinians,
Austinians.
call them
Austinians.
the new age Austinians and the old guard Texans, and I think it's amusing as an outsider who goes to Austin once or twice a year.
And have you been invited to David Barrow's layout?
I have not.
Do you know?
But I would consider David Barrow to be one of my biggest influences in the hobby.
Okay. He hasn't had anything published in decades, though, has he?
No, I don't think so. But the very first issue of Model Railroad Planning that I picked up had him featured in it, and it made a big impact.
I think David Barrow got mad at me once.
No, that's a unique and one-time occurrence.
I can't imagine.
And Andy Sprandio came to my defense. I forget what he was mad about. He was mad about something. He seemed to think that I had said or done something. And Andy Sprandio was with me, and he goes, "No, he didn't. He didn't say that. He never said that." Oh. Well, in case you do, then.
It's a blanket anger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's when I was trying to weasel my way into that crowd of, Chuck. What was the guy's name from Kansas City? Chuck something or other, and David Barrow and Tony Custer and all those guys. I was trying to weasel my way into that group, and somehow I made Tommy. What was the guy's name that hung around with David Barrow? Tommy. He was a photographer. He's a photographer. Do you know who I'm talking about, Emory?
I know the name, but I can't get it off the top. It's right there.
Tommy Holt.
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still in the hobby.
I know the name, but I couldn't put a name to a face.
Well, there's a name I hadn't thought of in years. Have any of you guys ever heard of Tommy Holt?
No,
I have not.
Mm-mm.
He was a very, very close friend of David Barrow's, and he was building this massive, I think it was a Southern Pacific model railroad, and he had built a building behind his house, only the door to the outbuilding was literally like 8 feet from the back door of his house. And it was like twice the size of Tom Jacobs' building. It was just massive.
Wow.
And, which, of course, everything is big in Texas.
Right.
And I'm going to put that in there. Tommy Holt. Tommy Holt's Western Pacific First Subdivision. Look at that on Centrix and NMRA.org.
I'm seeing an article on trains.com written by Andy Sprandio in 2022. Was Andy Sprandio still around in 2022?
Well, I think he passed away just if he was still around, he was or he had just passed away in the year or two prior.
Okay. But he talks about his greatest moments in model railroading, going to see David and Tommy Holt and all of that. So, yes.
You know what your job is now, don't you, Emory?
What's that?
Find out as much as you can about Tommy Holt's layout and if he's still going and what's going on with that.
I would
Okay.
start with his social security number and go from there.
Yeah. Become friends with him and then get his. There's a 1,500 square foot layout, very similar to what David Barrow would create. Very linear. 2 peninsulas around the wall, staging yards. That was the one thing that David Barrow did that I really, really liked was open staging. His staging wasn't hidden. It was just kind of part of the layout at either end of the linear design.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that.
Hmm.
I liked it a lot. Okay, so Emory,
Yes.
before we get, let's finish up with Mike, the guy whose layout you're helping. So now he's started. So you're starting to take it apart, but he's going to keep part of it going until until he finally realizes where he's going and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna keep one level of it so we could run, some stuff around just to have to run and play with. But he's in the process of downsizing. Not this weekend. The weekend after next is the Austin Train Show, and we have 7 tables, I believe. And he's going to be most of the stuff that going to be on the table for sale is his stuff that he's collected over the last 5, 6, 8 years.
Oh, okay. And
on the layout, we had roughly 2,800 cars. I think it was. I think we've downsized it to about 600 now.
Holy moly!
Wow, that's a drop.
Nice.
Wow.
And there's nowhere. It seems to me I remember the last time we talked. How long ago was it? Like 6 years ago we talked on we interviewed.
It's probably been that at least that I can think of.
Yeah. And then about 8 months ago, I found your Kelly questions and I stuck them out there. I dusted them off. I found them under the filing cabinet.
Nice.
And
That's probably Kelly's fault.
Yeah, it was definitely Kelly's fault. Yeah, and the tape had broken, but I spliced it together and managed to get it to work. So is there any way, what's your friend's name? Mike what?
Mike Bourbon.
And is there anywhere on the internet you can see his work?
I'm trying to find it. There is some stuff on the Central Texas Division layouts page somewhere, but I cannot remember where. I wish I could. I posted the link a long time ago on the Friends page, and I'm trying to see if I can find it again in my phone. But
yeah, I found Tommy Holt's Western Pacific first on the Centex division layouts.
I found that also, and I'll have to do some digging. There's pictures of it. I have a bunch of pictures that are on my phone also, and there was a write up that I did on it, and it's on the NMR or whatever the NMRA division or Central whatever. What division I'm even in. I can't even remember.
I found the main page for the Central Texas region, so we can maybe you're in division map. Well, let's look at the division map. There's Dallas. There's Waco. Okay, I think you're in Division 4.
4. Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah, look at that. Boom. Oh yeah, it says right here at the top of the division page. This is the division that Emory Lehman is in.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe that? Yes.
Well, I'm lying to you.
That's good software.
Yeah. Okay, so he doesn't have a real. It's almost what I seem to remember was it was kind of like a secret. Like he didn't really want people to know that much about the layout and stuff.
Correct. We've had a couple open houses for the local people, but he's kind of an introvert, or like I wouldn't say like a normal model railroader, but somebody that doesn't want to have a lot of people around or a lot of people knowing about it. I think
there are a lot of model railroaders like that.
Yeah,
I think there are more model railroaders like that than not like that.
I think it was Rob Bennett when we were interviewing him that gave or maybe when he was doing the Kelly questions, and we were discussing ballast. I think it was Rob Bennett that said some of the greatest layouts in the country are ones we don't know about.
Mhm.
I found it. It's centexnmra.org/layouts with a Z.
Can you put a link? I hate to do this. I hate to do this to myself. But can you put a link in the chat? I can't believe I just asked for that.
Copy.
I almost fell out of my chair.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't
Is
blame
this
you.
really Lionel?
Yeah, exactly. I
It's
can't.
AI
Must be
Lionel.
this super secret page because I found one that was layouts with an S, and I see now there's layouts with a Z also.
Oh, a super secret page.
Maybe
All right.
getting behind the scenes here.
Yeah. And so now he's going to build. He's decided that when he finally does move, he's going to build another outbuilding,
Yes,
which is fairly common in Texas because there are no basements.
correct.
And how common is that, would you say, that you know of people in Texas that are model railroaders that have dedicated outbuildings?
A lot.
Really?
Yes, like Chris, he's got his out in his building, and then the one layout that I go operate on, Jack. I can't remember his last name.
All right, watch this, you guys. This is smooth podcasting. So just so everybody out there in the AML land knows who you're talking about, what's Chris's last name?
Chris Atkins.
There you go.
He's still in Argyle, Texas.
Yeah, home of the Fighting Sox.
Fighting Stocks.
When he said Chris, I couldn't think of Chris. And then that's how when I did that very smooth transition. I'm sorry, Chris. I forgot your name for a minute, and I'm sorry, Emory.
It was smooth like peanut butter.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry, Emory. I keep cutting you off. You go to take a breath to say something, and then I cut you off.
No, that's fine. Dang it, I can't remember Jack's last name, but he's got a layout above his 3-car garage, so an outbuilding also, and then my neighbor across the street, he's in the process of building his garage and the side of his garage, which is going to be more layout than garage.
So this fellow across the street, when did this all take place? Like, when did you discover he was a model railroader?
When he moved in there with his now wife, Stan Miller, he's a retired railroader also. He come off the Santa Fe in the maintenance way department, and him and I were talking one afternoon, and we kind of, hey, I know that person. You know that person. Hey, you look familiar, type thing. And because I've seen him at a few shows and stuff. And hey, you're my neighbor across the street. So yeah, that's how we kind of got everything together.
Well, that's handy. That would be cool. That would be handy, eh, Marcus, if everybody had a neighbor across the street that happened to be a model railroader.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
The 2,200 square foot building.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody has that friend that's building a gargantuan layout.
Yeah.
Let's go now. Okay, Marcus, do you know anybody that has a dedicated outbuilding?
Well, yes, a few, because there are in North Carolina there are fewer basements than other places as well. So he passed away in the last couple of years, but Jack Parker, who was in Charlotte, was he had an outbuilding and a mobile home that he purchased that was full of a model railroad when he purchased it, and so he connected his outbuilding layout to the mobile home layout through a tunnel.
That's right. I remember that. Well, there's a guy. Isn't there a guy in Florida like that? Maybe. I think there's a guy in Florida that does the same thing.
Jack's layout is still operating, even though Jack has passed away. There's a club that's loosely operating it, and hopefully it will last for many years to come.
So did they buy the property?
No, they've got an arrangement with the current property owners, and that's a little concerning, when you don't own. We've talked about this before, when you don't own your own property. So I don't know what will come of it, but the group that's there is pretty dedicated to keeping it running.
Huh. That's kind of cool. How about you, Daniel? Do you know anybody that has dedicated outbuildings?
I do. I'm doing one myself, although it is not on a very grand scale compared to these others. And I have a guy in my division named Ron Phillips who built a pole barn. It's not a giant pole barn, but it is still a pole barn, and his layout is in it.
And who's the fellow? What's the fellow? Isn't there a fellow in Indianapolis He has the kit company that builds the like the corrugated warehouses and stuff like that.
Oh, Rick Rideout with
Rick Rideout.
Rick's
Yeah,
products.
Rick's products.
Yeah, Rick's. That's Evansville. Yep.
That's okay, but that's near Indianapolis. Yeah. That's Evansville is at the very bottom of Indiana, is it not?
Yes.
As opposed to Whiting, Indiana, which is at the very top.
Exactly.
How about you, Derek? Do you know anybody with a dedicated outbuilding?
No, I don't have any friends.
That's why I came to you last. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I've thought about it for my house here.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I'd like to build a bigger layout at some point, and not having a basement. Do I want to turn an entire room in the house into a layout? Do I want to build in the single car garage, or do I want to maybe build a large shed in the backyard, or do I want to buy another house? Which is a whole other question. So,
Wow.
I think we'll buy another house. I'm in a different house.
You are definitely in a
Second
different
house.
tax bracket than we all are.
No,
No, he didn't mean another.
No,
He doesn't mean
not another house, a different house.
Jeez.
Like,
Just going to
He's
buy a
gonna
house
buy-
to put his model railroad in, and that's it.
yeah,
And then,
right.
and then a separate house for all of his Alabama stuff.
That is not the tax
I
bracket
mean,
we're talking about.
you're gonna have two houses. I don't know anybody that has two houses.
Yeah, you'd have to be really out of touch and aloof to have two houses.
Exactly.
Probably somebody with all that podcast money.
Got to be doing something illegal.
I don't know what Derek does, but I think I heard once that he's in charge of it, whatever it is.
Yeah, and we're pretty sure it's illegal.
Oh my god!
Almost certainly.
Again, I want to repeat. It's we would sell our very modest starter house and buy something a little larger, not buy another house.
Something about waste management.
Oh, God. Emory, we should get back to you here.
Yeah. How do you think this is going so far, Emory?
It's going wonderfully.
Just like the rest of our podcasts.
Yeah, it's just like the rest.
We're right on schedule.
If you're not the primary target on the radar, it's going well for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All the way to Alaska, and he can't. How many times have you
No
been
photos.
to Alaska?
12 or 13, something like that.
Not one. Have you ever taken one single solitary picture of the Alaska Railroad?
No.
Did you know that there was a railroad in Alaska?
Yeah.
I have seen the train going by before. Yes, multiple times.
Okay, we'll try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Have you taken any pictures of Alaska at all?
Yes, hundreds.
No,
Okay.
he has not taken hundreds because every time I ask him for a photo, he says, "I'll see what my wife's got."
I told you, just go to my wife's Instagram. She posts them all there. Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you really want me being friends with your wife on Instagram?
Actually, no, I don't want that. You're right.
On the list of things that sound like a bad idea.
Right, exactly. How to end a friendship or end a marriage.
Yeah, there you go.
And or.
Okay, Emery. The main reason we got you here
Yes, sir.
is because you are a full-size 1-to-1 railroader working for the BNSF
Yes.
out of Temple, Texas,
Yes.
and you run a train. Are you still? Before last time we were talking, you ran this one particular train back and forth from Temple to somewhere.
Brownwood, but no, that was 6 years ago, and my seniority has allowed me to move to a wonderful job. I consider it one of the best jobs in Temple. I'm on a daylight switch engine now.
Okay, so
We'll
that's
go on
cool.
duty at 7:30 in the morning, with weekends off,
I didn't know
Monday
there
through
was-
Friday.
I didn't know there was a 7:30 in the morning. There's two 7:30s? Holy moly. So I got a question for you, if you don't mind me asking you a full-time
I have-
1-to-1 railroader question.
I have many answers.
David, we were just speaking with your father not long ago, which reminds me, he
Yes.
sent me a very nice message that I didn't answer. Tell your dad that I wasn't ignoring him.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Yeah, and I'll try to remember to answer it. I got about a half a dozen messages. No, I got more like a dozen messages. Because I'm one of these people that I don't want to if it's somebody that I don't frequently speak with, I want to say something nice in return, and then I'll do that tomorrow. And tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes.
Tomorrow when you're feeling nice.
Yeah, tomorrow when I'm feeling nice. Exactly. Not today when I'm picking out nicknames for Marcus. So recently we spoke with David's father, who worked as a conductor for the Indiana Harbor Belt for 30 plus years. Originally, he was with Amtrak and rode some really cool trains, the City of New Orleans, the Empire Builder, and blah, blah, blah. But then he moved to the Indiana Harbor Belt, where he just worked as a conductor basically Monday to Friday. Is that correct so far, David?
Thursday through Monday, but you had it right.
Okay.
And you had it close enough.
Yeah, and he loved the job because it was like 9 to 5 or whatever, 7:30 to whatever. And my question to him and my question to you is, do you not get bored like running up and down the same track?
Yes and no, because how do I put this? I do enjoy my job. I enjoy the guys I work with, and I enjoy what I do. It's just, it does get boring sometimes running up and down, but this job just came available about 3 months ago. So it's the newness hasn't worn off on it yet. And I am an engineer. So my job, we build outbound trains. So everything we build is different, get to operate different trains, but we're still in the same yard doing the same thing, putting trains together, setting out bad order cars, arming an ETD, getting it set up for the crew to take wherever it needs to go. So,
but as a lifetime railroader, how long have you been a railroader now?
I've hit my 30 years back in March.
Okay. So this must feel like you've hit the lottery.
Yes. I'm not on call anymore. I don't have to live by the phone. Don't have to live by the computer. I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to go to work. I know what days I'm going to have off. So I have my weekends are free and my wife has her weekends off, so we can actually do stuff together. It's actually a normal, quote unquote, normal job.
Right. And so how many years until you retire?
Well, that's one thing is I can go tomorrow if I'd like. I'm not old enough. I'm only 56. I'll be 57 in December, but with some planning that we have done and some discussions we've had with a financial advisor, if you look it up, there's a guy on Highball Advisors. I've a long discussion with him, and he's a very good money manager, and we could technically go tomorrow if we wanted to.
But the longer you keep working, the better off your retirement's going to be.
Not really. The retirement it's pretty much set. Because I've worked the highest paying jobs that I was going to work back, 4, 5, 6 years ago. So now I'm just on the downhill slide, and I'm just here for the insurance, basically.
But then when you retire, you probably have some sort of insurance, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can interpret this. It's a great job. You see no reason to retire, so you're going to try to do it for as long as you can because the extra income is well worth the trouble.
Well, until I turn 60, yes. That's when the key to railroad retirement is to have 360 credible months or 30 years, and at the age of 60 to officially retire from the railroad.
Okay, what's so important about 60?
That's part of the railroad retirement plan.
Okay.
Like Social Security is 67 or 65 or 66 and a half, depending on what year you're born, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And part of the end, since pretty much day one, the railroad retirement's been set up is that you have to have your 30 years of service, and at the age of 60, you can retire.
Okay, so you might have more than 30 years, but at the age of 60 is when you retire and start taking in those benefits.
Correct.
And you said you're 56?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen a doctor?
Are you working out of the Temple Yard?
Yes.
That's in town? Okay.
Yeah, they have the yard, and then about a mile and a half southeast of Temple, there's a 6-track fueling facility. So the road crews go on duty down there, and the yard and the local crew go on duty down at the yard office in Temple, on the bigger yard.
And
Gotcha.
so basically, what I was trying to get at is because you're going to wait, because you want to retire at 60. Now for the next 4 years, you've got this sweetheart job where you got regular hours and a regular life, and it's a great way to finish up your career with the railroad.
Hopefully, but I'm number 4 on the seniority roster, so I could be displaced by the 3 people above me at any time.
Is that likely to happen?
Probably not, because this job doesn't pay a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
what do you mean by that?
A yard job only makes a basic day on a yard job right now is about $340,
So,
and we don't make a lot of overtime.
because you come in and do your job, and you're not stuck out somewhere in the middle of nowhere
Yes,
driving a train. Okay.
Okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have those extra hours. So now, geez, and there's a Temple Railroad Heritage
Museum.
Railroad and Heritage Museum. Is there like a railroad museum in every town in the United States? I think so.
That has a railroad
About.
running through it. Probably yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or had a railroad.
Or had a railroad. Yeah. Okay, so now do you have the same locomotive pretty much every day?
No, because every day we make it. My job is basically all we do is we build outbound trains. So the other jobs, they switch the cars, get the cars built in the separate tracks, get them all blocked, and then we go get the power out of the roundhouse. Which if you're looking at that map at the yard, there's the Y at the bottom end at the south end of the yard. That's where the roundhouse facility is. It's right in the middle of that big Y. We take the power from there and bring it up into the yard and build the train, and then the outbound crew gets on it and takes it to wherever it's going.
Oh, okay. I don't actually see a roundhouse. It's just a building, right?
Yeah, there's no physical roundhouse.
Yeah.
It's just a diesel servicing facility.
Straight lines.
It's got rounded corners.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was sometime many years ago it was a roundhouse and blah 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 blah, something
Yes.
like that.
Something like
And so I got a question for you. That it's just a question I've thought of myself over the years, being a rail fan and interested in railroading. Now that the GEVOs and the ACs and are all the popular engines, do you think that they'll eventually, these gigantic engines will end up being used as switchers like GP40s are and Jeep 35s and all that stuff? Like, do you ever see a time when these gigantic engines will end up as local switchers on small railroads?
probably. But I think the system, the EMD or whoever owns the EMD now, I think they've pretty much and GE have pretty much maxed out what they can do with what they have, what they've designed. The tractive effort and all that type of stuff, and with the computer systems and everything. I don't know. And granted, I don't have much left in my generation of railroading, but probably in the next 10 years, there'll probably be another change. And yes, I do think some of this road power will become local or yard switchers, because like all the yard switchers we have right now are all SD40-2s.
Right. So now is it as a full-time locomotive engineer, we're running all kinds of locomotives. Do you think it would be harder for once the GEVOs and the ACEs and all that become local switchers on medium and small railroads? Do you think is it harder to do that kind of work with those gigantic engines?
I don't think so. I think the controller stands are pretty much the same. You get a reverser, you got automatic and independent brake valve, you have a throttle and dynamic brake handle, and you put the reverser forward, you put the throttle forward, and away it goes. You put the reverser backwards, and you put throttle forward, and it goes backwards. You apply the independent brake, and it stops.
So the length isn't really a problem then.
Right. I think the biggest problem would be, especially with these new wide cabs, would be actually looking down the switching lead, trying to see the guys working on the lead.
So radio contact and walkie-talkies are going to be coming even more because hand signals are going to be hard to see.
And honestly, what I think is going to happen is they'll probably put just like they have in the switch power we have now. We have the RCO power, remote control locomotives.
Right. And do they have any kind of cameras like on locomotives?
Yes, there's a camera inside the cab of the locomotive, a fisheye camera that watches everything you do, and then there's a camera facing out the front, showing what you see going down the track.
And is there no camera at the back so if you were backing the locomotive up, there's no screen?
No backup camera.
No backup camera like in your truck. No.
Well, that would be a good idea, though, wouldn't it? Because wouldn't that help a guy who's operating a couple of GEVOs, backing them up? If there was a camera and you could see the conductor with the signals, wouldn't that be a help?
Well, we have a mirror on the right hand, looking out the window, and you can look like a trucker mirror, and you can see him in the mirror that way.
Especially if it beeps when it's going backwards.
Put the tennis ball back there.
Do you have a backup? I'm guessing, Emory. I'm guessing you're a pickup man.
Yes.
Okay, let me guess. You seem like a Ford F-150 guy to me.
Yes.
All right.
I still have the same truck that I had when the last time we talked.
Oh, yeah, and I wrote that down. No. All right, let me guess the color. White.
Of course.
Wow. Maybe
Wow,
I did write it. Maybe I did write
I
it
think
down.
you wrote it down.
I think I must have.
You can't read a map, but you can read a man's truck.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me do the mileage. 132,000.
No.
Higher or lower?
Low.
Lower. Wow. 87,000.
More. It's a 2014. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right. So I'm right in the middle there then.
Can you guess his 3 digits on the back of his card?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 416.
Close.
Okay. There you go. All right. So now let's get to the discussion that Derek wanted to have. What a waste of time this podcast has been. Not a waste of time talking to Emory, but man, we can just chew up time without even trying hard. And I'm going to enjoy listening to this podcast. I know I am, because it's like lots of interesting discussion. This is a really cool yard you work at with this Y and everything. Holy mackerel. And
It
then,
almost looks like a double Y. Is it like a Y inside of a Y? Or is
Yeah,
it...
the roundhouse has a Y inside, and then the outside Y. So if you're looking at the yard, you got the south end of the yard, the north end of the yard. The south end of the yard is where the Y is. If you're facing south and you go left, that takes you down towards Houston, Galveston, San Antonio. If you take the Y to the right, that takes you out west towards Brownwood to Slayton, out that way. And then if you go north, that goes to Fort Worth.
so when you're building the train, you show up in the morning and you grab whatever engines or whatever locomotives are going to be used on a particular train that you're building.
Correct.
Wow, that'd be fun. That would be an interesting job. I don't think you're going to get bored over the next 5 years. I think you're in high cotton there, buddy.
Well, again, my wife's and our plan is to. I'm not going to retire. I'm going to quit. I have to terminate my employment with the railroad, and probably near the end of this year or the middle of next year. It just depends on some medical things we need to get taken care of, and then ride it out from there.
Okay, are you okay?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, it's not serious medical. It's just my shoulder's bad, and my wife's having some stuff that she needs worked on. So
Right, exactly. If you need any help talking to doctors, give me a ring. I've talked to a few.
Okay, I will put you on my list.
I have experience talking to doctors.
I'm well aware.
Okay, so you're a BNSF guy, but Derek was anxious to talk to somebody about this UP-NS merger. And then I said, hey, we should get Emory on here. We haven't talked to him for a long time. And Derek thought that was a great idea. I understand you work for the BNSF, but you must have an opinion about these two gigantic railroads joining up.
Honestly, I hope it doesn't happen, because the downfall will be is if it does happen, NS and the UP-NS, UPNS. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
That just rolls off the tongue better than UPNS. Better than CPKC, too.
Right. If it does happen, then we, unfortunately, probably have to suck up the CSX.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That would just mean there would be only two major railroads or two major American railroads.
Yes.
In the lower 48.
And my opinion is, I think depending on the STB surface transportation, yeah, I can say that better. The surface, I can't even speak. The Surface Transportation Board will probably hopefully put the nix on it.
Okay. Because it's
Monopoly.
Monopoly, yeah. That's what I would have thought. It would have been a monopoly. And besides that, all the railroads are going to get sucked up by Canadian National and Canadian Pacific anyways.
Well, what was it? 8, 10, 12 years ago, we tried to get, I can't remember which one it was, CN or CP, but it was nixed by the Surface Transportation Board. I can't remember.
Yeah, one of them was trying to combine with BNSF, and I think one of them was trying to combine with Norfolk Southern at one time as well.
Right.
Marcus, you're in the railroad game. You're in the railroad business, not the same kind of business, but you're the director. You're the director of administration for the foundation of the North Carolina Transportation Museum.
That's right. Uh-huh.
So do you have an opinion on this?
I holding out opinion right now. I'm hopeful that it's going to, if it goes through, that things won't change too much. But there's relationships we have with Norfolk Southern people that we hope will stay there and extend if Union Pacific does take over. It's kind of I don't think any. I think a limited number, let's say, craft employees, conductors, engineers, and so forth would be affected because there's not a lot of duplication, but management level is bound to be affected, and that will hurt relationships. It'll change relationships at different historical organizations that have those connections with these railroads. And, I think UP's, a good heritage partner or whatnot too with the railroads that it serves. And Norfolk Southern certainly is. So I hope for the best, but it's just kind of uncertain times right now.
And I think
that's a long answer.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for. Is long answers. Long answers are good. What do you think there, Derek?
Oh, I'm not really sure I have an opinion. From like a heritage and this is the way things have always been perspective, it feels like we should have a couple of railroads in the east and a couple in the west and a couple up north. Like it just feels balanced. But I also think it's an interesting. I see if I was in their shoes why you would do it, right? Like it used to be that railroads were local or regional because the technology available to us only allowed us to manage at a local or regional level. But having been part of teams that, half of us are in Poland, half of us are in Belarus, and half of us are in the US, for example, or India or whatever, it's pretty amazing what you can do, with technology now to manage cross-functional teams around the world, never mind around the country. So, if you have a big, thick management layer that's sucking up costs and expense, then I can see why not only does it make transportation more efficient, but it helps you reduce your operating or improve your operating ratio even more. So I kind of get why you would do it from a business case, but as a rail fan, it just sucks, right? To see more homogenization, and certainly it's going to hurt people whose jobs are lost by part of it as well. So it's kind of a mixed emotions, I guess.
I'm learning lots as we speak. So is this kind of do we see this as mostly as a management reduction tool? Like I don't understand I really don't understand. I mean, these railroads are so big now. I don't understand what the benefit would be other than it sounds like, okay, you can reduce management somewhat, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Is it, Emory, in the movement of trains and freight? Is it?
Yes and no. I think what it's come down to the last 5, 6, 8 years is Wall Street runs the railroad. It's all about the bottom line. It's all about putting money in the shareholders' pockets. So if they could reduce management, they could reduce us, they could reduce whatever the costs and put the money back into the shareholders' pockets. That's all they're looking for.
I've heard shippers say too that there are shippers against it and shippers that may be for it, because I've heard some say that it would reduce, let's say Union Pacific brings a train into New Orleans and yards it in their yard in New Orleans. And then today, Norfolk Southern, then there's a transfer or whatnot, goes from UP's yard to Norfolk Southern's yard. It becomes a Norfolk Southern train. And so that duplicate work would be consolidated in some ways, I think, where you'd have, maybe it is 1 yard or even if it's 2 yards, that train only stops one place to make the transition between railroads more seamless, I guess. That's what some of the shippers are saying would be an advantage, and other shippers are very much against it.
Yeah, because what is it? We're big on JB Hunt, but most of the JB Hunt stuff we send goes to Norfolk Southern, and the other with the orange box Schneiders or whatever that is on UP, and a lot of that stuff goes to CSX. So those two shippers are like, hey, we're still cross transferring between the two different railroads. We're not going to save anything out of this.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It does make sense. It makes sense. The whole thing makes sense. It's pretty fascinating, really, to think that they would make such a gigantic railroad. I mean, the plus side as model railroaders, I think it'll create a bunch more regional railroads, which are always interesting.
what in my sight vision of this is that, like you're saying, that what might happen is say like we merge the CSX. Well, what would happen is they would spin off a lot of the not I wouldn't say lower revenuing producing locations. To me, in my vision would be that, say, what BNSF would basically be the transcon between LA and Chicago, with the interchange with, through going east on the CSX or going east through Memphis, and then like this area down here. I'm kind of afraid because they may just spin it off to some Genesee and Wyoming type outfit, and we would end up losing all our jobs that way. Because we're seeing it right now, and like in Houston, where we take a lot of our intermodal traffic, the yard that we had the BNSF owns down there, they have subleased it to RJ Corman, and now RJ Corman does all the switching and everything on the intermodal stuff. Also down there in Houston, there's another yard over in Dayton, just east of Dayton, and BNSF has done the same thing. They've handed that yard over to RJ Corman, and now RJ Corman does all the switching.
RJ Corman must be coming huge. And that was all started by a guy replacing ties.
Yes.
On a front end loader. I'm looking at the Google Maps, the satellite picture of the yard where you park your truck when you go to work, and I think your truck's on fire.
Okay. Shouldn't be, because it's in the driveway.
Just play along.
Okay.
Do you?
It might be a company truck too, because they're white also.
Oh, all right.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, you got something to say, Derek?
Well, I was just going to ask, do you guys think or why do you guys think as model railroaders we get so emotionally involved in this business transaction?
I think that we see these railroads as sort of like our sports teams.
Oh,
honestly,
I like that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's a really good answer, except this comes from a guy who likes soccer. So, what he knows about sports teams, we can write on the head of a pin.
If two soccer teams play a match and nobody watches, did they really play a match?
Exactly.
Oh man! Oh
wow. That's actually a very good analogy. That's probably why model railroaders get so worked up, because they have favorite railroads. I guess of the big four, I would say that I probably am a BNSF fan, I guess, of the big four. I'm not really a Norfolk Southern fan. My favorite was the Florida East Coast until it got sucked up by the Mexican railroad.
Well, I think that's the key. I think that's the key thing, to say that you're a fan of them. So it's kind of like that fandom of, like you have with, a sports team like the Leafs or Columbus Crew or the Indianapolis Colts. Like maybe it's something that you were around growing up and you just kind of associate it with it, or whatever it may be. But yeah, I think that's why, as model railroaders or just as rail fans, we just get so wrapped up into it, because it's like, oh no, my sports team is, going away from it's getting moved by the owners or something. So we get kind of offended by it.
That's a good. That's a really good analogy.
See, it's a good thing we keep David around.
Yeah. Did your wife help you with that?
Yeah, she let me hold the big crayon, and I wrote it out and stuck my tongue out while I was writing it. And yeah.
Daniel, you've been pretty quiet. What's your opinion on all of this?
So I grew up in the Penn Central era, the black and white engines from that when I was a little kid. And then these big blue Conrail engines came in. And so I got really used to nice bright color. And then we went to CSX and NS, and boy, that got depressing again. So, seeing some big UP yellows roll along through town would be all right with me. So from a rail fanning perspective, I would enjoy that, because we would actually pick up more. And if BNSF came into the neighborhood, that would be good also. But beyond that, yeah, it feels like just more shareholder greed, and that's probably not very good for anybody other than the shareholders.
Yeah, shareholders, that whole thing, profit. I mean, obviously, any business you run, profit is a major. I mean, it's the reason you're in business.
Yeah, it should be number one, right?
Should be number one, yeah.
But there can be a lot of other. It doesn't have to be the only reason.
Well, Lionel, I mean, you're a Canadian, right? And you once worked for CN. I mean, and Canadian National went from being just a bumbling sort of backwater railroad to one of the most profitable and powerful in North America in the last 30 years. Like, and that was sort of driven by a quest to privatize and become more profitable. Like, has that had a positive impact on railroading and your fandom of railroads in Canada, or a negative impact on it? Or have you even noticed?
Well, yeah, I noticed because, like Emory, I mean, it seems like the railroads just chew up people in order to make money. So yeah, I did notice because the division I work for went out of business 20 years ago, and yeah, like what the problem is? They become cold and unapproachable. The bigger they become, the colder they become. It's not like you can go to the Everett Railroad and, ask if you can, and stand around and watch stuff. It's like the bigger they become, the colder and more distant they become from the customers and the people they serve.
Mm. Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So it's not a fun thing to have them become bigger and more powerful. That's for sure.
Emory, are people on the ground non-model railroaders at BNSF? Is this even registering?
A few, yes. We just had a change in our terminal manager and terminal superintendent, and I've talked to both of them about it, and it's on their radar, and they're looking at it, and they're like, if this does go through, granted where we're at, it's not really going to affect us because there's no duplication, but they also look at it and say, well, I could, if we merge with the CSX, and I could probably go get a job in wherever, some other place on the East Coast, or, I might end up getting moved over there. So, it may broaden their horizon, but again, we've lost so many jobs and so much traffic because of the company this is just my opinion, nothing against BNSF, and I'm not trying to talk bad about my company or anything else like that.
Sure.
But I think it's all the rest of the other railroads. And I see it where we're at is these big railroads don't want to deal with the first mile or the last mile of any car. They just want to haul it from point A to point B and hand it off to another short line or small railroad or whatever, and let them do all the switching or all the spotting of the industries or anything else like that. All the big companies want to do is they want to run big long unit trains from point A to point B, hand it off to some short line and let them do all the switching and let them handle the customer side of it.
So then is it, and I think the reasoning is because it's just much more profitable to do that kind of work.
And because of the labor costs, you think about it,
it's the easy job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then are we moving towards like a hybrid role where like there are, like, back to the original point, there's just more short lines and regionals that handle the first mile and the last mile, and they plug into these large transcons that are basically conduits?
I believe so. Yes. In our area, we see a little bit of it because we move a bunch of rock, and the empty and loaded rock trains, we get the loads out and the empties in, but we just hand the whole unit train off to a short line railroad. They take it to the quarry, they load it, they bring it back, then we get called for it, we take it off where we get interchange from them, and we take it and then run it to, put it into our system, basically.
It'd be interesting to see how they figure out how they make money. Hey, Marcus?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that this particular podcast is sponsored by White Rose Hobbies?
I did know that. That's great.
Yeah.
I was just on White Rose Hobbies last night looking at some switches to purchase.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Some turnouts?
Turnouts, yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you know that you can pre-order some Alaskan Railroad stuff too?
But not photographs.
Eventually, I'm going to be able to start charging them because I'll get good at this. But so far, I'm not very good at this.
No, we need to be better at reminding you too. That's part of why we're here.
But I was convinced over the last 3 or 4 days before starting this podcast that I would remember at the start of the podcast to mention White Rose Hobbies, and I didn't. And
How did that go?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm useless. Well, I
No,
am.
not really.
I am.
No, not really.
Yeah, really. White Rose Hobbies, whiterosehobbies.com. They're at 4401 West Market Street in York, PA. And their zip code is 17408. And if you want to call them, 717-505-8676. And ask for Ryan or Thomas and tell them Lionel sent you.
And they'll immediately add 10% to the
Yeah,
cost
and
of
they'll
your order.
immediately add 10% to your order, whether you want it or not. It's a great store. And Ryan, we got to get Ryan and Thomas on talking train stories. If we could get them to come on after dinner one night, we could have them on with Emory talking train stories. They're dying to tell us train stories because that's how they met, working for the Norfolk Southern.
Nice.
Yeah, and the best part about whiterosehobbies.com, if you go to retail and racing and scroll down to candy and snacks, boom, you're in the Jelly Bean section of the whole website. And we're going to send some of those to Chris Wayman.
That's right.
And you can take some when you go rail fan. You are never going to go rail fanning with Chris Wayman.
What? Yes, of course I am.
You are not, because you don't rail fan.
The Cold Stone Creamery one looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tropical mix. Now, you see, you're just changing the subject. You're trying to help Derek out here.
Hey, Birmingham's a great rail fanning town. I will very often go grab a coffee and go down to Irondale, Alabama, and sit there by Norris Yard and watch the trains get built, just like Emory does.
And take photos.
Taking pictures ruins the moment. I just want to stand there and watch.
Roll Tide.
There are some rail fans that think that, it's like and I can see that sometimes you're out there. It depends on what your focus is. Taking photos is a part of the hobby. And for some people, just watching that train go by and kind of absorbing the whole moment is what the hobby is. It's not about taking that picture.
Yeah. When you're in Irondale, they have a platform and you're like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet, if that, from the yard lead. And so I'm not going to look through a little tiny screen to look at a big locomotive. I'm just going to stand back and my arms down and sort of wide-eyed and watch these giant locomotives and cars go by. It's a pretty cool experience.
That's when you put your camera on a tripod, you focus the shot beforehand to make sure you get everything in, and then you turn the video on and let it go while you watch the train go by.
Exactly. Thank you, Dan.
That's like asking Kelly to take a good picture. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's right.
There was a guy rail fanning there recently, and it was hot out, but he was sitting in his car with the air conditioning on, and he had his iPhone on a tripod, and every time a train would come by, he'd get out of his car, hit the record button, get back into the air conditioning, and wait for the train to go by.
Survival.
Yeah, right.
So when you go to Irondale, do you go to Rock and Roll Sushi?
I do not.
And you still haven't taken a picture of Hueytown yet.
Oh man, I am just a chronic disappointment to this podcast, aren't I?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a chronic disappointment. And welcome to the club.
Derek Downer.
I think we're all chronic disappointments. All right.
That's a T-shirt right there.
Yeah. Chronic disappointment.
Welcome to AML. We're all chronically disappointing.
Hey,
or just, you know what? How about this for a new? Let's add this T-shirt to our vast collection. Have you fixed that sweatshirt thing yet?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Well, no. The reason I'm asking is because you fit in perfectly with the overall ambiance of the AML Nation. We love to have the podcast, but beyond that, we're all useless.
We are uniquely talented at it too.
Yeah, we're uniquely useless. What did we just say? AML Nation, chronically disappointing. Is that what it is? No, chronically. What did we just say? Somebody.
Can we play the tape?
Yeah, that's true. We can do the tape.
Well, when you're only marginally adequate, the bar is fairly low.
Yeah, true. I love that T-shirt. We're going to make that T-shirt. AML Nation, chronically disappointing. That's gold, Jerry. That's gold. Yeah, that's it. We're done. Marcus, can you give out our email address?
I can. It's going to be, let's see, if you want to reach us by the wonders of email, you can do that by emailing us at modellerslife@gmail.com. That's modelers with one L like BNSF Railway, not two L's like.
Chronically disappointing.
That's
Is that
good.
correct?
Right.
That's good. You got it.
There you go.
Thank you. You saved me.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Can you just you can just imagine that everybody else that has a model railroad podcast is sitting there going, "How do they get away with this stuff?"
That should be our next ad in Railroad Model Craftsman. Chronically disappointing.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Tune in. It's chronically disappointing.
Yes.
You were here on a historic night, Emory.
Okay.
I think we've got our next
Next.
great slogan.
Just imagine thousands of people are disappointed every single week by our podcast.
Yeah. I've been
Tons of people.
tens of people have been chronically disappointed once again by the AML Nation. I love it. I love it. That's how you fit in perfectly, Derek, is because you couldn't take a picture. You're chronically disappointing when it comes to taking photos. And it's something, you know what? It's something to be proud of. I'm chronically disappointing about sending out T-shirts. You know, it's something you can walk around kind of with pride and say, well, somebody might ask me to do something important, but they know I'm no good at it.
And if you want to be chronically disappointed, you can sign up for the competition that's sweeping the globe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can be chronically disappointed. Man, oh man.
There was discussion on the Patreon group tonight about me getting my shirts, and I said I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'll believe it when they hit the doorstep.
It's very close to your you are the first guy. I now have all the records up to date of sizes and who's got what, and now what I get to do is start sending them out, and you, Daniel Banks, are at the very top of the list.
Because his last name starts with a B.
There is an advantage. There is an advantage.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only way I can do it is by working. I've got it all color coded. I work from the top. That's until I made some sort of lame spreadsheet. I was just kind of poking at it, and it was like throwing darts. Now
Rich Wisniewski's going to be waiting a while, right? So he's
hey, speaking of folks in T-shirts, when I saw Todd Treaster a few weeks ago, he mentioned that you were going to look into getting some AML tank tops.
Yes, I should do that. I should do that for him. I will do that. Let's make that a priority. But then, Todd, when you get your tank tops, you have to come on to the podcast and tell us how much you enjoy them.
There we go. Do we want to add them to the store and make them buy one?
Absolutely.
Or are we going to send him one from the Patreon?
We'll send him one from Steve the T-shirt guy. We'll get him some really quality stuff, but let's add him to the store too, and that'll be something else we don't get done.
And then we can have Todd Treaster can have print or
one more thing to the "we will never do it" list.
No, Marcus. No, you've gone one step too far.
Okay,
there's no never. We hope and pray. You know, it's like the Leafs winning the Stanley Cup. This is our year. It's probably not going to happen, but this is our year. We go into the season thinking that this could be our year after 57 hapless years of futility. And it's the same thing with the T-shirts or getting the store going. It's like, this could be our week. This could be the week we do it.
This could be the year we figure out the cheese balls at Springfield.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. What a great night you were here on, Emory. Holy moly.
Enjoy it.
This is AML history.
Yeah, this is AML history. We're chronically, man, oh man, I love that.
Great moments in AML history.
Yeah. I see that as a poker chip sticker. You know, the AML Nation in the main and around the outside. You always count on the podcast to be chronically disappointing. Oh my God, that's a great slogan.
We may not be able to deliver on much, but darn it, we can deliver on that.
Yeah, exactly.
In this area, we always meet your expectations.
Yeah, we excel.
Yes. Yeah. If you weren't disappointed before, just give yourself a chance.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. And now this is like an hour and 20 minutes, which is too long. But these are getting, I've got to be careful because they're starting to get long again. We got to get back to this because they're fun to do when they're shorter.
That's Derek's fault.
Yeah, it's Derek's fault. So, okay, we talked about the email address. If you didn't catch that, if you go to our website, amodellerslife.com, on the website, there is an actual email widget where all you got to do, it actually works really well. Derek did manage to install that on the website. And so you just fill out the email form and send in your email. And I was thinking the other day, we're not getting a ton of emails lately, so I think we might go back to reading some fans' posts because we want to get back to having that, once a month chit-chat with emails and fans on the Modeler's Life posts and stuff like that. So there's always lots to talk about. What else do we got? Oh, yeah. And if you like this podcast...
And why would you not?
Yeah, exactly. If you were disappointed with this podcast, and you'd like
to be disappointed even more,
yeah,
join Patreon for truly disappointing material.
You'd like to be disappointed 2 times a week.
Yeah, if you'd like to be disappointed twice a week and pay for it, for just a few cents a day, you can have twice as much podcasting a week. And then if you go to the T-shirt level, if you're really into disappointment and self-loathing, join the T-shirt level, and hopefully you'll eventually get a T-shirt. It's the game show that's sweeping the nation. Hey, dude, where's my shirt?
And you'll be disappointed when it arrives.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, the shirts are pretty good. It's just the trick of getting them. That's it. I think we got it all covered. And don't forget to go to White Rose Hobbies, whiterosehobbies.com. Right down there in York, Pennsylvania. These guys, Ryan and Thomas, are great guys. It's a great store, actually. And they got a ton of stuff. Did you actually buy something, Marcus?
I haven't yet. I'm still trying to figure out which switches I need, but I will be probably placing an order very soon on that.
Are you building more layout?
Well, I've been looking at replacing some switches that I'm having some trouble with and trying to decide which ones are the right ones to get.
Okay.
He's getting some Alaskan Railroad stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We're done. Emory, are you ready?
Yes.
Well, you don't know what you're ready for, but
don't disappoint us.
Yeah, don't disappoint us. We don't want to be disappointed.
Disappointment's palpable.
Okay, you'll know what to say when I get started. Okay, that's it. So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
RCO operators.
It's another Lincoln Homer.
What's an RCO operator?
Switchman.
A radio control guy?
A radio control operator.
Do you do that? Do you operate by radio control?
No.
Oh. So
I'm the only engineer available in the yard. All the rest of the yard jobs are remote control.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And do you have to have special qualifications to be a remote control guy?
Yes. I don't have them.
No. But like, are the guys that are remote control operators, were they locomotive engineers before?
No.
Or they're just really good with RC cars?
It's almost like operating a model train.
Oh, that'd be cool. Or did they use proto throttles?
No, they use GE belt packs.